A famous person was once asked what it takes to be happy, and this person said, "It's simple. You just need to stop caring about other people's opinions of you." Now, we all know deep down that this is true, but sometimes we still care about other people's opinions. Sometimes we try to please them, even when we know that we should stop caring. So here's how to stop caring about other people's opinions of you. The French philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau used to send himself love letters by mail to read while walking in the woods. He would break down in tears as if they were actually sent by his imaginary lover who did not exist. Jean-Jacques Rousseau was a genius, but he had problems with reality. Let's talk about that. Who was Jean-Jacques Rousseau? Jean-Jacques Rousseau was a French philosopher who is considered one of the most influential thinkers of the Enlightenment era. He was born in Geneva, Switzerland in 1712 and died in 1778. Rousseau's work had a profound impact on the course of Western philosophy and history. His ideas on topics such as natural law, social contract theory, and the role of government continue to be debated and discussed today. Some of his most famous works include A Discourse on Inequality, The Social Contract, and Emile, or on Education. Rousseau's philosophy was deeply influenced by his own personal experiences and beliefs. He was a strong believer in the idea that humans are inherently good and that society and civilization are responsible for creating inequality and corruption. He argued that the state of nature is a state of perfect freedom and equality, and that the only legitimate government is one that is based on the consent of the governed. One of Rousseau's most famous and controversial ideas is his concept of the social contract. This theory argues that individuals in a state of nature willingly give up some of their freedoms in order to form a society and live under the rule of law. According to Rousseau, this is a necessary sacrifice in order to enjoy the benefits of living in a civilized community. However, he also argued that the government must be formed with the consent of the people and that it must serve the common good. If the government violates this agreement, then the citizens have the right to overthrow it and establish a new one. Rousseau's ideas had a profound impact on the French Revolution and the development of modern political thought. His emphasis on the rights of the people and the idea of popular sovereignty were particularly influential in shaping the course of this revolutionary period. After the revolution, however, Rousseau's ideas were increasingly seen as a threat to the new order, and he spent his last years in exile. Despite the controversies surrounding his life and work, Jean-Jacques Rousseau remains one of the most important figures in the history of Western philosophy. His ideas on topics such as natural law, social contract theory, and the role of government continue to be debated and discussed today. So let's get into this video. Why did the great philosopher cry reading his own love letters? What's going on there? Well, this is a great example of how sometimes we have to do things to make ourselves feel good. In Rousseau's case, he needed to feel loved. So he wrote these letters pretending to be someone else, and then he would cry because he got no love from anyone in real life. That's why he had to make it up. It's like when you watch movies and you pretend to believe in the fantasy world on screen so that you can enjoy the movie. For Rousseau, it was the same thing. He pretended to believe that he was getting love letters and he could enjoy the feeling of being loved. This is called escapism, which is not always bad. It's okay to escape from reality sometimes, but it becomes a problem if you do it too much. If you think about it, this is exactly what happens to many people who are addicted to porn or video games. They do these things to escape from reality and feel good. But if they do it too much, they lose touch with reality. Their brains can't differentiate between the virtual world and the real world. So why am I telling you all of this? Well, this story illustrates something very important. If you think about it, most of the time we care about other people's opinions because we want to feel good. We want to feel loved, accepted, and appreciated. These are all good feelings. Who doesn't want to feel loved, accepted, and appreciated? But if we chase these feelings too much, we might lose touch with reality. Just like Rousseau with his love letters, we might start to believe that the virtual world is more real than our actual lives. You see, we all have an inner child inside of us, and this inner child wants to feel good. It wants to feel loved, accepted, and appreciated. But if we chase these feelings too much, our inner child will never grow up. Instead, It will remain forever stuck in a fantasy world where it feels good all the time. This is why so many people are unhappy nowadays. They're chasing virtual feelings instead of real ones. They're chasing acceptance from strangers on the internet instead of from the people around them. They're chasing money instead of happiness. They're chasing power instead of love. And the funny thing is that all of these things are worthless. They don't bring any real happiness or fulfillment, but we keep chasing them anyway. This is because our inner child doesn't understand why we can't have everything it wants. It doesn't understand why we can't be loved by everyone or why we can't make everyone happy. This is why so many people are depressed nowadays. Their inner child is screaming inside of them because it doesn't understand why we can't have everything it wants. So how can we fix this? How can we make our inner child happy without losing touch with reality? The answer is simple. We need to teach our inner child that the virtual world is not real. We need to teach it that we can't be loved by everyone and that we can't make everyone happy. We need to teach it that some people will never accept us and that some people will never like us. And that's okay. We need to teach our inner child that the only opinion that matters is our own. The only acceptance that matters is our own. The only love that matters is our own. We need to teach our inner child that it's okay to be rejected, that it's okay to be alone, that it's okay to not be loved by everyone. We need to teach our inner child that the virtual world is not real and that we shouldn't chase virtual feelings. We should chase real ones. And here's how to do it. First, we need to become aware of our inner child. We need to become aware of the little voice inside of us that wants to feel good. Then we need to listen to that voice. We need to understand what it wants and why it wants it. And finally, we need to teach that voice that the virtual world is not real. But you might be thinking, how can I teach my inner child something? Well, you can do it by becoming the parent your inner child never had. You can become the parent your inner child always needed. You can become the parent your inner child wished it had. You can do this by giving your inner child everything it never received. You can give it all the love, acceptance, and appreciation it never received. You can tell your inner child that it's okay to not be perfect, that it's okay to make mistakes, that it's okay to fail. You can tell your inner child that it's loved and accepted just the way it is. By doing this, you will make your inner child happy and fulfilled. Your inner child will stop crying and begging for love, acceptance, and appreciation. Instead, it will start to believe in itself. It will start to believe in you. And it will start to believe in the real world. This is how you stop caring about other people's opinions of you. This is how you stop caring about what other people think. This is how you stop caring about what other people say. When you stop caring about other people's opinions of you, you become free. You become free to do whatever you want, free to say whatever you want, and free to be whoever you want. You stop caring about other people's opinions of you, and you start caring about your own. You start listening to your heart and following your dreams. This is the only way to be truly happy. This is the only way to be truly fulfilled. And this is the only way to be truly free. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a comment below. And remember, try to make yourself happy. Bye.